This means imitate. So if someone is playing, I would point at another musician and basically tug my ear, and the idea there is to imitate this person. So I would go, get ready, this is a signal, and I would point to whoever's playing at that point and just say imitate. Here is this rolling over of hands. Is if we have someone playing and you want them to just basically carry on and move on, and so this is the idea. So you would look at them and just say, okay, come on, more. We have some specific hand signals also for soloing. This is air saxophone. It's so this denotes that particular person would solo. So you would point at the person and go, okay, solo. And you might pick a section, say the string section, and you would like an accompaniment. And what you do for that is you imitate sort of a piano doing an accompaniment. There's also the third one that's in this sort of area is called underpin, which is and that's denoted by sort of a bass player, a string bass, as in the old jazz style, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in tempo. It can be, it's just a matter of underpinning. So we're looking for something in the bottom to sort of underpin everything that's going on. The next thing that is worth looking at is this, which is wiggling your glasses. And what that means is I would point at a person and I would wiggle my glasses, and then I would point at them again, and they are to play something completely and totally different, which is in many ways difficult at times. Now, here's another interesting thing. If I do this, what I'm asking for, or what the conductor is asking for, is a glissando. So I would choose, a good place would be perhaps the string section again. And you know, I would point at them. I would say a long note, and I would denote sort of a mezzo forte, perhaps. And I would show them this, which means I'm expecting them to gliss, and they would follow my hand to gliss. And you could basically initiate all the other instruments as well to do the same idea, and you could group them, or a variety of things that are possible. Another good sort of possibility is pointillism, which is this type of hand signal, and what that means are short little notes and little sounds or what have you. And one thing that is another hand signal that comes along with it, which is one of density. And density is with the palms out like this. This means very little activity in the pointillism domain. And as my hands get closer, then the activity gets, there's more and more activity, so that you can control the amount of, I guess, musical activity at that particular point, so, or the density. Now, this signal is a loop, and so you would point to certain people, and you would ask them to play something, but play something in a loop. So perhaps that's something that you know, you could do some minimalist music that way, you know, a possibility. Another hand signal is the hand signal for memory, and what the conductor is asking the musician to do is by pointing at their head and alerting the musician, you're asking them to remember what they are doing now. So as they trail off and play something else, at a later point in the piece, you can ask them, you basically point to them again and say, okay, well, I would like you to play what you were to memorize. Or, okay, one of the Another idea with long tones, or they don't necessarily have to be any kind of tones or pitches, is this idea of stipulating a particular kind of pitch, perhaps. So this could be, say, a middle pitch. This could be a high pitch. So you can, in some respects, conduct some sort of melody line, and you might be able to, for instance, you could initiate by initiating, separate musicians or different musicians. Then you could probably have some sort of counterpoint going on this way. So probably a simple way of dealing with that problem. And then you could do carry on, and they would be they would carry on. And if you wanted to go back to take another section, perhaps of the rhythm section, and point to pointillism, and you could have them basically play very little. You could get the density up as a sort of a counterpoint to what these long sustained notes were. So it's really the conductor's choice. Also, if you have the whole orchestra playing some very, very dense kind of music, so lots of notes and so the texture is very, very, very great and thick, you can create a hole in it, and that would mean, for instance, you might group certain musicians, or you might pinpoint musicians along the way. And what this signal here is different from this, which is loop, and it's just the one hand. And after pointing at these musicians, when you do this, then what they do is they stop playing. So you're basically putting a hole into the texture. And then when you do that again, then they would join the situation, as they would basically carry on with what they were doing. So the, oh yes, now when you have a, for instance, a soloist, so just a soloist or a couple of soloists and things carrying on in that fashion, and you want the rest of the orchestra to play something, or you want them to join in, but as an ensemble, or whatever you choose, whatever type of hand signal you want to choose to initiate the rest of the band, that signal is this. This means everybody else other than who's playing at that point. The last thing that we'll look at is the idea of morphing. And the signal for that is basically, it's kind of like stirring a pot. And what I guess the way around it is to initiate a certain kind of musical activity from a section, or the whole orchestra for that matter. And what you would do is after this, you would, after sort of stirring the pot, you would give the orchestra, well, a simple example would be, everybody's playing long tones. And, you stir the pot, and what you would like them to do is to morph into them singing, for instance. And so, stir the pot. They're playing, and basically, first you would initiate the long tones. You would stir the pot, and you would sort of show everybody. You would go, everybody, show them that you would like them to morph into basically these vocal sounds, and you would basically, the idea is to morph into voice sounds. That's it, I guess. I don't know. Basically.